What's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, gonna throw some quick videos out there. Dereck Chisora against Oleksandr Usyk. Love the fight. I've expressed it on my live videos. All right, but I haven't done an actual video yet on this fight. I'll do a thorough breakdown when the time comes closer to the fight. All right, first thoughts. I love this fight, by the way. I love this fight. Like, I wanted to see a real test with Usyk before him getting into a championship fight. I understand that he is the mandatory. All right, I understand that he is undisputed as a cruiserweight. I understand that he has a lot of experience in fighting bigger guys, heavyweights, and stuff like that. I understand all of those things. I've seen his fights before he turned pro. But I wanted to see him get tested against a real heavyweight. Dereck Chisora may not be the very, very elite, but he's very, very dangerous. He's been in there with them all, okay, at heavyweight. So I would like to see what Usyk can do against someone like that, especially someone that's actually been on a pretty good roll. Uh, I know he's lost to Dillian White. I think the first fight was questionable. I think the second fight he was winning the rounds, but he got knocked out late. But White, outside of that, has knocked out David Price. He knocked out Arthur Spilka. I know that both of those fighters have been knocked out a lot recently, but Dereck Chisora has taken a lot of L's too, and for him to knock both of those guys out is pretty impressive. He's just been on a nice run lately, even with the losses. Lately, he's been good, okay? He's been solid. And I think that is a good enough test to me in order to prove that you belong in a ring with one of the heavyweight champions. Enough. Okay, some people will disagree with that because they're just not that impressed with Dereck Chisora. I understand that. But if he's already the mandatory, at least this gives up something before he goes straight into an AJ fight or a Fury fight or a Wilder fight or whoever. All right, so I like the fight. The way I look at it is Usyk can definitely outbox Chisora. Chisora is a big guy that's going to be coming forward, that's going to apply a lot of pressure. He's going to be loading up on big right hands and stuff. This is what he's going to be looking to do. He wants to knock this guy out. He's already made statements about Usyk moving up to heavyweight. He wants to prove to the world that Usyk doesn't belong up there. He's a smaller guy. He only weighed like 215 against Chaz Witherspoon. So Dereck Chisora is dangerous. I think Usyk could definitely outbox him. But I know Usyk can start slow a little bit early on in the rounds. He's like a guy that he's a streak fighter. Like once he gets into a good rhythm, it's hard to really stop him. Okay, but he can start off slow. Like there's fights where I've seen where he struggled a little bit early on. He struggled a little bit against Michael Hunter. He struggled a little bit against Tony Bellew. He struggled a little bit against Breedis. It's been other fights where he didn't look so impressive early, but he started to rally on later in the fight. So that will be the point where I think Chisora will definitely be in the having an advantage early in the fight. But once Usyk starts going, he starts moving his legs, starts getting comfortable with Chisora, and he starts to really open up. I can see him doing some good work on Chisora, and if not getting a knockout, at least winning a decision against him. It might even be a close one, but we got to remember, being that he's fighting a dangerous guy, a bigger guy, even though he has experience in fighting these guys, he still has to worry about a guy hitting you with one good clean shot, because that's good. All it takes one shot sometimes with Chisora. All right, he is a bigger man, and we have to factor that in. Even though Usyk is used to fighting bigger guys, at the heavyweight level, on a level at this point, it's still very dangerous. But the only thing I think with Usyk is 215. I don't think he should really come in any heavier than that. Okay. I remember when I seen his fight with Joe Joyce. Joyce was clearly bigger than him. All right, and Usyk at this time was, you know, I don't want to say because I don't know how much he weighed in that fight against Joyce. You know, this is before he officially turned pro, even though these fights were like pro. But I don't think size is what's gonna really benefit Usyk at all. I think he wants to be very light on his feet, very mobile, and he needs the volume to stay as high as possible in order for him to win this fight. I don't think size for him is going to play an advantage here. I said this about Wilder recently. I said that Wilder coming in heavier against a much bigger man is not going to give him any advantage because he needs his speed. You know, he needs to be lighter on his feet. He needs the endurance, you know. Um, so I think Usyk, we don't know what Chisora we're going to get. You know, he could come in wearing 240, 245, or he could come in wearing 260, you know, or above that. You know, so I think Chisora, the Chisora that we're gonna get the 260 Chisora that's gonna be trying to use his size against Usyk. You know, we already know that Chisora can't outbox Usyk. He couldn't outbox a lot of other fighters. So I wouldn't expect him to try to outbox Usyk. But what I do expect is him to try to bully Usyk, even though there's other fighters that's try to do it before and failed. At this level, in a real fight, you know, it will be beneficial towards Chisora if he used the size against him. You know, if you're not small, if you're smaller and you're not sitting down on the punches, and you're trying to box and win rounds, this is where you may fail. All right. I think trying to bully him, hitting him with heavy shots, is going to make Usyk be more defensive, more careful, and he may not really get that rhythm going if you're pressing the action and making him go backwards. All right. So I think this Chisora should be coming in heavier, you know, at least weighing 255 coming in for this fight. I think weight and size is going to play a big part in this fight. But Usyk, he needs to stay, you know, he doesn't need to be bigger. He just needs to be quicker, and he needs to have that endurance on point, throwing a lot of volume and have it overwhelming his opponents like he normally do. That's what he needs to be that night when he fights Chisora. All right, he's gonna start off slow, but once he gets going, it's hard to stop that dude. All right, but in the beginning, he's just trying to figure you out. You know, he's more cautious. All right, but I love the fight, man. I really love this fight. I can't wait to see this fight. This is one of the better fights that's out there because I can't wait to see what Usyk will really do at heavyweight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dereck Chisora just catch him with a big right hand and knock him out. You wouldn't even. That's what I'm saying. This fight, you just really don't know because Usyk is very good. But let's not pretend like we haven't seen him look bad in fights, especially early on in fights. You know, Tony Bellew was landing some big, nice right counters in that fight. All right, he didn't really hurt Usyk, but they were clean shots. All right, and I know Bellew don't fight like Chisora, but you got to bring these up. You know, you got to bring in, you know, Michael Hunter. You got to bring in Breedis. Breedis was doing very well in that fight. Breedis is another cruiserweight that went up to heavyweight and did well. All right, so anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you guys subscribe.